How many times should you do your webinar live before turning it evergreen? So a lot of people wonder, how many times do I have to do my webinar before I can just turn it evergreen and let it run? We're going to discuss that in today's video. How many times do you think you need to do your webinar? 1, 5, maybe 10 times? Let me know in the comments down below. Just to challenge you guys a little bit, how many times do you think I've done webinars live? Leave a comment down below and I'll answer you, but I promise you it is not a small amount. Before we jump into it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss a video that will make you money. Also, if you know webinars are for you, there's a free course down in the description. All right, let's jump into it. So you might be watching this because you're like, I just want to do this webinar and I just want to turn on evergreen. You can definitely do that. I would say the quick answer is 15 to 20 times. Now you might be saying, well, Steve, that sounds crazy. But here's the thing. How many of you have gone and watched a recorded webinar and it just wasn't very good? It was putting people to sleep. It was all over the place. The stories didn't connect well. And when you got to the offer, it was very lackluster. That's what happens if you do it too quickly. Here's the thing. Speaking from stage, whether it is virtual or live, is a practiced art. You do not get great at it overnight. You have to constantly practice. And the best way to do this is to do your webinar live. When you do it live, you are going to have more energy. You're going to come across to people differently. And you're going to get people to interact with you. But here's the secret. It's not just doing it live. It is then watching the replay of it. When I started speaking on stages, my first couple speeches were not very good. I put a ton of time and work into building the deck. I practiced it in front of a mirror, but my delivery still wasn't great. I didn't know how everything flowed together. I wasn't able to just speak naturally and get my point across to people. The other thing is, although I had the information in my head that I thought people wanted, when I watched the replays and I saw people raising their hand, I saw the questions that were coming from the audience. When I talked to people after speaking and I took notes and I wrote down what people told me, it added quite a bit of context to what I was teaching. It gave me different stories to tell. I knew I had to emphasize different points. It also gave me ideas of how to hook the front end stories to the offers that I was making, which is what increases the number of people that are tuned in the beginning to the number of people that are there for your offer. It also drastically increases sales. The whole goal of this is to come up with a webinar that has been so practiced and works so well that people can't say no when it's time to sell. This is how you move your conversion from 1 or 2% to 5% to 8% to 10 or 12%. Right now, there's a webinar with a client that I'm working with that we've gotten to over 12% conversion to a cold audience. And this is not done by just doing it once and throwing it out there. The way that you set this up so that it will work in your business is do it live, whether it's once a week, once every other week, or once a month. Once you've done the webinar and the cart has closed, turn the webinar evergreen. Put it on a thank you page to a lead magnet or just run ads straight to it. You should be able to convert good enough to break even on the ad spend. Even if you're losing a little bit of money, by watching the comments and watching when people drop off, you're getting very valuable information. Then take that information and rebuild your webinar. Tweak it just a little bit. Go in and look at the stories. Go in and look at what gets people to lean forward and what makes people lean backwards. What questions are they asking? Where are they engaging? What can I change? And you do this by watching your webinar. Once you've watched it, look at how you can build in those hooks. So a really good friend of mine does her webinar every other week. She drives live traffic to it, $1,000, and then she does her webinar live. They go through the cart close sequence. At that point, they turn that webinar evergreen and they send ads to it. While that's running, she watches the replay and she makes little tweaks and then she tests it 2 weeks later. A month following this, they take the best one of those two and they continue to run that evergreen while she does another live webinar. Now, this does require an ad budget, but it has helped her raise her conversion. From when she started, she was getting less than 2%. Then she moved up to 3 and 4%. And now, over a year later, she's somewhere around the 7 and 8% range for conversion. This webinar has done over $1 million for her just by constantly tweaking and paying attention to it. It is a commitment to excellence that, when you make it, will change your life, because nothing sells better than having a live webinar. This is actually a service that I offer. It is a VIP webinar breakdown. You can get this down in the description. I will go through your webinar line by line with you. I will show you what is working, what isn't, what needs fixed, and how to fix it. We also look at your front end funnel, and we look at your back end follow-up, so that all of them work in harmony to get your numbers way up. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss a video that will make you more money. And until next time, take action, change lives, and make money.